Hello and welcome to Rathod's IAS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 23rd September 2023. So what are the current affairs we are going to discuss in this session? It is important from both your UPSC point of view and even from your state public service examination point of view, or even if you are preparing for any other competitive examinations also, current affairs plays a very important role. And you have to be updated with the current affairs. Okay, so let us start the session. So the first topic that we are going to discuss from the first page. So most of the articles are political articles. So there is no need of bothering about these political articles at all. So in any competition examination, they are not going to give you the political related current affairs. So the first article that you have to see here is Supreme Court rejects pleas to lift ban in Delhi on firecrackers. So actually Supreme Court banned use of firecrackers. So normally in winter season we will be having festivals, right? So now Ganesh Chaturthi is going on and we are going to have Dasra festival soon and as well as Diwali festival. And this Diwali festival, it is a festival of lights. But now what happened? So we are doing that festival with sounds by using these crackers, right? Instead of lights, we are burning the crackers. And whenever we are burning crackers, it will be releasing lot of emissions into atmosphere. Because these crackers, traditional crackers, they will be made up of different chemicals. So why we are using these chemicals? So we are using chemicals to produce sound. So why we are using these chemicals? So first one is to produce sound. And whenever you are firing these crackers, you will be seeing like different colors will be coming. So for different colors, we are using different materials. Right, especially we are using barium for the green color producing sparkles. Okay, so this is about the chemicals that we are using. And here your work is you have to know which are the chemicals that we are using and what is the purpose of that chemical, right? And even if you are talking about these firecrackers, so one important region in South India is famous for this manufacturing of firecrackers. For example, that is Sivakasi. So this Sivakasi is located in Tamil Nadu. And recently 15 days back, there was one article like, so there was accident in one illegal cracker making company. So because of that, what happened? It led to the loss of life and even the building had been fell down. Okay. So always this Sivakasi will be in use because of accidents in the firecrackers manufacturing units. So that thing that you have to remember. So it is another subject that you can interconnect here. But as of now, here you have to focus on why Supreme Court banned this use of firecrackers in Delhi. So why means already we know that this National Capital Territory region, so it is facing pollution. So not only this Delhi but even many metropolitan cities in our country, they are facing this problem called as air pollution. And extremely in this winter season, Delhi will be facing a very bad air quality. So because of this bad air quality, even on the roads we can't see the vehicles. That much pollution is seen. And if you are allowing this burning of firecrackers, that will release a lot of smoke, lot of chemicals and even particulate matter that will more leads to increasing of air pollution. So because of this, here Supreme Court banned the use of firecrackers. So what is the alternative here? So rather than these traditional crackers, we can use green crackers. So here you have to see what are these green crackers, who came up with this manufacturing of these green crackers and different types of these green crackers. So all these things that you have to remember from this small topic which is given here. Okay, shall we move on? So I hope you understand like how to study any article which is in news, right? And now let us move on. So in the city page here you can see one more article that is about stray dog attacks girl, father blames MCD agency denies charge. So here in urban areas, now there is increased threat from stray dogs. So most children, they are attacking by the stray dogs, and even sometimes life of these children will be also lost because of this attack of stray dogs. So here you can get a case study from this article that you have to imagine that you are from the director of MCD and what are the steps that you are going to be taken. So that thing you have to think about, and you can see there are many times the debates which are going on in this TV news channels regarding this stray dog menace. Okay, so this is a problem that comes under your urbanization. So in geography you will be having a topic that is human geography. So in that human geography you will be reading this urbanization. So there you can also add this new problem that is emerging in the urban areas like increased menace of street dogs. So from that point of view also you can add this problem. And if you move on, in the states page, every article is a political article. There is no need of going through this. And you can directly move on to this editorial page, and today is Saturday. There will be no op-ed page also. So there is less burden on you to read newspaper today and even tomorrow also. So in this editorial page you have to see this article. So first one is people count, that is about census. Census is too much important to be delayed for political reasons. So as you all know that 2021 census had not been conducted. So why? What are the reasons? So the sole reason that is stated by government here is because of this COVID-19 pandemic. So because of this COVID-19 pandemic we didn't started the stage 1 and stage 2 census. So here this article says that recently in our parliament session we passed number of bills, and recently we also conducted this special session, and this special session concluded. So in this special session women reservation bill of 2023, so this is passed in both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. It is talking about providing of 33% of reservation for women in Lok Sabha and as well as state legislative assembly. Is it correct? So 33% means yes, we have to know the actual population. So actual population data that we are going to get in this census. So this article says that after this 2024 general elections, so we are going to have the census data. But what is the use? No, right? And even in the recent session of parliament before this special session, so birth and death registration bill passed and it became an act. So this act which talks about the digital registration. So after the birth, automatically what happened in the database? So there will be the entry of data and we will be having the database, so that there is no need of census. Correct? But here it is not having the data exactly fully. So because of this, yes, this digital registration is very important, so that from now onwards at least we will be having the digital records. Okay. So here this article says that if you are having census now, so it will be affecting this 33% of reservation for women in this Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly. So because of this, the present government is planning that we have to go for this conducting of census after once the general elections is done in 2024. Okay, so this is the idea of this article and we have to see that in detail. And I want to give you one question. So why we need census data? Why we need this data? That means you have to know about what is the significance. So first one is you have to know the what is the significance of this data. And you have to see how government will use this data. How government will use this data. And next one is what are the concerns. And you have to see even what are the challenges for data collection. And you can also see history point of view here, like so when this census started in India and in which year we have the full-fledged census in our country. So this all the dimensions that you have to think from our mains point of view. And this history point of view is important from your prelims. So I hope you are understanding and you are connecting the dots, isn't it? So in this way you have to read this article. So why there are challenges? Because as you know, according to this United Nations World Prospect Report, Population Prospect Report, United Nations Population Prospect Report, it said that India is going to be the most populous country in the world, and India is even going to bypass China's population. So because of this huge population, it's very difficult and tedious task in India to conduct this census. Okay, so because of this, even we need a large manpower. So there we are using these Anganwadis who are working in these Anganwadi centers as well to collect the data. Okay, and there is no proper digitalization or digital thing that we are using in this counting of census. And even there sometimes there will be the data duplication is seen, and one person can be counted twice in India. For example, after marriage, so girl will be moving to her in-laws home, right? So there is a chance of duplication as well. So these are some important things that you have to remember regarding this topic, and we are going to see that in detail, don't worry. And next topic is India and the great power context in West Asia. So as you all know that India is showing big brother attitude, and India is trying to increase its influence in the nearby. For example, India has its own foreign policy. So what is this foreign policy? So foreign policy is nothing but it is a guiding principle of a country. So for example, this is a country 1 and we are having another countries like this. Okay, so these are other countries. So here this country will be having its own foreign policy. Foreign policy is nothing but guiding principles. So they are nothing but guiding principles. So with these principles here, this country will decide how it can have relations with the other countries. So in this context, for example, I can talk about neighborhood first policy, act east policy, look east policy. So there are some important foreign policies of India regarding how to maintain the relationship with the other countries. Okay, so here you can see in West Asia there are a lot of problems. For example, you can talk about Israel-Palestine issue, and even in the West Asia, especially the Arab countries, you are having the issues between Sunni and Shias, and even Arab countries are having some issues. So because of this, yes, how India is going to have a better relationship with these countries, that is the thing which is given here, and this is also very important topic from your international relations. And next topic, it is about Mediation Act. Next topic is about Mediation Act. So actually, I want to explain a small example here. So if there is any fighting which happened between these two persons, or if these two persons they had dispute, and for example this person did something against him, so this person is going to file a case, okay, in police station, and after that this person will be presented in court of law. That means here there is involvement of law and order and as well as court of law. So if you are talking about the problems of judiciary, there is increased number of cases day by day. Day by day people they are getting awareness regarding their rights. So because of this, if their rights are violated, they are directly moving towards Supreme Court or High Court, and they are using these writs. So according to Article 32 of Indian Constitution, which says that if at all your fundamental rights are violated, you can directly move to the writ, to the courts, and in these writs we have 5 types of writs. Okay, mandamus, certiorari, prohibition, quo warranto, okay, habeas corpus. So these are the 5 types of writs which are guaranteed in our constitution under this Article 32 of our Indian Constitution, right? So because of this there is increase in number of cases. So because of increase in number of cases, we are seeing there is pendency of cases. There is increased pendency of cases in the courts. So because of this, what happened? Justice is get delayed. So for the faster access of justice, now we came up with this concept called as fast track courts. So these fast track courts will be established only for the serious matters but not for all. So what is the alternative here? So to get justice, we are having one alternative. That alternative here is ADR. That is alternate dispute resolution mechanism. So one such example under this ADR is this mediation. To make you understand what is mediation, I have to tell all this story in this flowchart. So I hope you understand, right? So mediation is nothing but one of the alternate dispute resolution mechanism. So here you have to understand what is this mediation and what is this Mediation Act talks about. So what are the key provisions and what are the advantages? Is it clear? So those things are very important from your mains. So now let us have a detailed discussion of all these topics in our notes. So first topic, as I said, it is about firecrackers, and we are going to see about this green crackers now. So if you see context, it says that our Honorable Supreme Court, it rejected pleas to include barium as an ingredient in fireworks while retaining the prohibition on sale and bursting of joint crackers. So normally we are using different types of chemicals in the manufacturing of crackers. For example, some will be used for generating sound, some will be used for generating of different colors of sparkles. So here a plea was filed that we have to give the permission to include barium as an ingredient in these crackers. So why? If you are talking about the use of barium in these crackers, so this barium provides attractive green color in crackers. And one important reason why this barium is banned is, so barium is releasing poisonous gas into atmosphere. So whenever this poisonous gas is inhaled by adults and children, so they will be getting respiratory disorders. They will be getting respiratory disorders, and it will be also very harmful to the health of the people. Okay, so here in this context there is one alternative, that is we can use this green crackers. So green crackers are nothing but, instead of traditional chemicals like barium nitrate, antimony, so they are causing respiratory problems and even cancer in the people. So that we have an alternative to use these green crackers, and these green crackers, they are manufactured without using this barium. And Neary, which mainly came up with using of alternatives instead of this barium nitrate, so they started using this potassium nitrate and zeolite to have the same effect in the crackers. So Neary also claimed that these green sparklers, they contain potassium nitrate, aluminum powder and some additives that led to 30% of reduction in this particulate matter, sodium dioxide, nitrogenous or nitrous oxide emissions. So if you are using alternatives to this barium nitrate, so we can decrease 30% of emissions into atmosphere. We are going to decrease this particulate matter, we are going to decrease sulfur dioxide and as well as nitrous oxides. And the name here is SWAS. SWAS is nothing but safe water releaser, and they release or they emit similar level of sound. So even if you are using this flower pots which are made up of water and lime, so they will be having the same sparkles and even the same sound. And if I talk about what colors gives to the firecrackers, what gives the color to the firecrackers? So red color is given by strontium salts, and orange color is given by calcium salts, yellow color by sodium salts, green color by barium salts, blue color by copper salts, purple color by combination of copper plus strontium compounds, white color it is by burning metals like magnesium, aluminium and titanium. And this box is very important for your prelims. Is that clear? Anyone? Any doubt? So if you have doubt, so please post your doubt in the doubt session. So as of now, because of some technical issues, we are coming up with recorded videos. And if that technical issues are resolved, we will be having live. Until then, we will be having recorded videos and we will be having a live doubt clearing session. Okay, so if you are having this recorded videos, we will be having this live doubt clearing session so that you can post your doubts in the comment box and I will be taking up your doubts for sure. And next one is, what are the government efforts which are taken so far? Supreme Court banned use of this barium nitrate because it is one of the key pollutant in the crackers. And even Neary, which came up with the development of this green crackers, and they came up with development of 3 types of green crackers. So these 3 types of green crackers is very important, and I asked this question yesterday but no one replied me regarding the answer. So because of that, I thought that I have to give the information, because if I am not giving information, you are going to be lost, right? The first one is SWAS, that is safe water releaser. So this safe water releaser will eliminate the use of potassium nitrates and sulfur. And the star is nothing but safe thermite cracker. It eliminates again potassium nitrate and sulfur. And sulfur means we are using minimal aluminium, that too in the safe limits. Okay, so these are the 3 types of green crackers. I hope you understand, right? And now let us see the next topic, that is people count. It is regarding census, and this topic is important from your GS paper to under polity. So if you see the census, this article says that in this census, we are collecting the data of what? Population number. And why it is important? So if you are having enough data of population, so it will be very helpful for government agencies to come up with a proper planning and proper development. It will be very helpful for planning and as well as development, and this exercise is rarely devoid of political intent or consequence. That means what are the data that we are getting, that will be very helpful for planning for our development of our country. So if we are not having the data, means we don't know like how many people belonging to the so and so region, so in which areas there is a high amount of population, so that there will be increasing of funds from the central government to the state government. Like that we will be getting the data. And India has conducted census once in every 10 years, that is called as decennial census. So we are having this decennial census, that means once in every 10 years since 1881. So but what happened in this 2020 due to this COVID-19 pandemic, so there is delay in this 2021 census. Okay, so first time from 1881, so this 2021 census has been delayed due to this COVID-19 pandemic. And recently our Home Minister, he told that census will take place after this 2024 general elections. Okay, so because of this it create some anxiety among the people. Okay, so the possible reason here it is like if they are going for enumeration of caste, then what happened, that will leads to evaluation of political image of present government. And if you are having this census after this 2026, it will become the basis for the next delimitation of Lok Sabha seats, and it will involve interstate redistribution of representation also. So because of this, it is also one advantage for the political parties now. And recently there is a proposal for this 33% of reservation for women in parliament, right? So because of this, we can link if you are linking with the census, so if you are getting the census now, means it will be affecting this reservation policy, right? And next one here is, the next one will also be, we are going to have this first digital census. So because of this, it is giving an opportunity to self-enumerate. Self-enumerate means we are going to give our Aadhaar number, our mobile number, so that here we are going for this digital registration. And normal course here, completion of this phase of the census, it will be taking around 11 months of time. So in the meanwhile, what happened, the quality and mechanism of population level, data collection, and they are evolving very fast. So because of this technology, so yes, the development is seen very much soon. And even we came up with this Registration of Births and Deaths Amendment Act of 2023. So here because of this, what happened, we are going to having this digitalization of rate of dates and as well as rate of births, etc. So because of this, we are going to have a database, and in this database we have the data regarding this how many people they had born and how many people they lost their life. And in that way we can also get like data like who turned 18 years, so that here universal adult suffrage will be ensured through this digital database. So this is the thing which mainly said by this article. So any doubts, anyone? If you have doubts, so please post your doubt in the comment box. And next topic is a clear message to industry on dispute resolution. So as I said, we are going to talk about one of this ADR, that is alternate dispute resolution mechanism, that is mediation. So recently this mediation bill has been passed and it became an act. So now let us try to see what are some important features of this act. So first one is, it talks about we need to settle disputes through mediation. So this bill requires person to try to settle or commercial disputes through mediation before approaching any court or any tribunal. So before approaching court and tribunal, so here we can go for resolving our disputes through this mediation. And what is the time period? A party may withdraw from mediation after 2 mediation sessions. Okay, and this mediation should be completed within 180 days. That will be around 6 months of time. Okay, so this is very important. And this one here is, it also saying that we have to establish this Mediation Council of India. So this Mediation Council of India, which is having some functions like registering mediators and recognizing mediation services providers and even mediation institutes. So all these need to be comes under this Mediation Council of India. And also talks about which all the areas can be excluded from this mediation. Like if there is any allegation of serious fraud, criminal offences, environmental matters which are reserved to this National Green Tribunal. Okay, and if there are any issues related to competition, telecom, securities, electricity law and land acquisition, they should not be taken under this mediation. So these are the areas of exclusion. So what is mediation? So mediation is a voluntary process through which here parties they try to settle a dispute. So for example, here there is one person and here there is one person. One person is laughing and one person is crying. Actually there is dispute between these two people and they want to go to court. Okay, so it will be like a lengthy process, right? So because of this, rather than going to court, they are going to another third person. They are going to another third person, and this third person will be listening from the both the sides, and finally he will be giving the judgment. So this is one type of mediation. Okay, so that person is called as mediator. The mediator does not impose a solution on the parties, but creates a conducive environment so that they can resolve the issue. So the mediation process depends upon the choice of parties and there is no strict or binding rules of the procedure. So whatever the advice which is given by that mediator, it is not binding. Okay, so if they want, they can also go to the court. So unlike litigation or arbitration, it involves adjudication of a dispute, and in this mediation, which involves settlement with the consent of the parties. So these are some important facts regarding this mediation, and here we have to see what is the importance of this bill. So it is very important. So first one is India as center of mediation. So because of this mediation act, so it mainly helpful for the institutional mediation, and we can also resolve the disputes in a fast time, and even there will be no increasing of pendency of cases. So here according to Ministry of Law and Justice, there are about 4.43 lakh cases they are pending in district subordinate courts and 60 lakh cases in high courts, around 70,000 cases in Supreme Courts. So because of this increased pendency of cases, yes, there is one alternative that we can use, that is ADR, alternate dispute resolution mechanism. And I want to give you one question, like, so please tell me the examples of this alternate dispute resolution mechanism other than this mediation. Is that okay? And next important significance here is it is also cost effective. So if you want to file a case in the High Court or Supreme Court, yes, you need a lawyer, and lawyer will be charging a lot. And even you have to do lot of paperwork. So for that paperwork also it will be like taking some money, right? So for all those things, yes, it is like involving the cost. So this mediation is a cost effective thing. And even it is also confidential, because here whatever the details that you are giving, sometimes those details will not be revealed. So here we can ensure there is a confidential maintenance of information. And this one is faster outcomes. So if you are going to court, it will be taking some years, and even after the lifetime also sometimes it will be not cleared. So because of this, if you are having this type of alternate dispute resolution mechanism, that will be very easy to get the justice fast. Okay, so these are the some important significance of this bill. And next, let us see next article, that is Supreme Court declines to consider plea for independent audit of source code of AVS system. So in Supreme Court one writ filed, they said that yes, we need to get the source code of this EVM, and after that we have to go for independent audit of this source code. So why? Because so there is allegation that these EVMs, they are hacked. So whenever these EVMs are get hacked, so political parties, they can use it as its own advantage. Okay, so because of this, what happened, only like some parties are winning this elections, like that there is some allegations. So here ECI says that you can't hack this EVMs. EVMs are just like your calculators. They will be calculating the number of votes. Okay, that's it. So here you have to know about what is this EVMs, and you have to see reforms in the electoral systems. So after EVMs, we came up with this voter verifiable paper audit trail, that is VVPATs. So you have to know all these reforms in our elections, because yes, Election Commission of India is very important topic from your polity point of view, and here you can also expect the mains question as well. So this topic is important from polity. Now let us see the context. So Supreme Court declined to entertain writ petition seeking independent audit of source code governing entire EVM system. So if that source code which once came outside means it can be used for unauthorized purposes, right? So because of the Supreme Court declined this writ petition which is asking this source code of EVMs. So please let me know, so what happens if once the source code is came out? In the comment box, don't forget. And if you see the facts regarding this electronic voting machines, so the Indian electronic voting machines developed in 1989 by Election Commission of India along with the collaboration with this Bharat Electronics Limited and Electronics Corporation of India Limited. And when we used this EVMs for the first time in 1982, okay, EVMs they are used in 1982 in the by-election to North Paravur Assembly constituency in Kerala for a limited number of polling stations. So first trial is done in 1982. And the EVMs they were used for the first time even in the general elections in 1999. Okay, and next one here is in 2003 all by-elections and state elections they were held using these EVMs, and we also came up with encouraging of this using of this EVMs in Lok Sabha elections in 2004. So once please confirm me like when we came up with this development of this EVM, okay, that is electronic voting machines. Because this article says that what are the information that I got, that is EVMs we started using in 1982. So I think this might be 1979 we came up with the development of this EVMs. So please do check with this data. Okay, because some sites that I am getting the data from 1989, in some sites I am getting like 1979, but it says that first time we used this EVMs in 1982, so it might be 1979. So please do research also. And now let us see what are the advantages of this using of EVMs. So before using of EVMs, we came up with this ballot system. So what is this ballot system? Ballot system is nothing but, so first of all, you will be called by the polling officers into the room, right? So where the election is happening. So there you will be getting a paper. So in that paper you will be seeing the different political party symbols, and you will be going into this room like thing that will be arranged in this polling booth, and there you will be having one box. So in that box you have to add your ballot paper, and you will be having one ink. Okay, so you have to print that ink on this political party where you have to vote. For example, this is a ballot paper. So here you will be having different symbols of political party. To which political party you have to give the vote, you have to keep ink on that, and you will be fold the paper, and that paper you have to drop into the box. And after the end of the elections on that day, so these boxes will be taken by this election commission, and finally they will be counting, right? So this is the old system before this EVMs. So what happens whenever we are using this ballot papers, so there will be invalid votes also. Okay, there is a problem of invalid votes, and because of whenever we started using this in EVMs, so we reduced this invalid votes, and it also led to more authenticated and more accurate data regarding the choice of the electorate. And next one here is, with the use of EVMs, there is no need of printing millions of ballot paper, so that we can also save our environment, and even we can save lot of money in printing of this ballot papers as well. Printing, transportation, storage, distribution, for all these things we can minimize the cost, because once we are using this EVMs for one election, so after counting again the same EVMs can be used for the another elections. So there is nothing like we have to manufacture other EVMs. And one more thing here is, we are not only using EVMs in India. So what are the EVMs that we are using in India which is also taken by the other country for elections in their country? So please let me know which country is taking our EVMs to conduct elections in that country. So I want to give you one clue here. So that country is sharing directly boundary with India. So please let me know in the comment box. Don't forget about this. And when we are using this EVMs, the counting process will also be very quick, and the result can be declared within 3 to 5 hours compared to 30 to 40 hours on an average by using this conventional ballot papers. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to remember regarding this. And now let us see next article. Here I took this article because of just one keyword that I found here, that is sign die. Lok Sabha urgent sign die registers 160% of productivity. So as you all know that on September 18 onwards, we had special session, and this special session of Parliament has been concluded. So here you have to focus on this word sign die, that is adjournment sign die. So when you are reading this Parliament topic in your Lakshmikant, you might come across this topic called as adjournment sign die. So let us try to see this, and there are a number of beginners who might be watching this video, right? So for those, this article will be very helpful. So here context says that the special session of Lok Sabha passed landmarks women reservation bill, right? And also they came up with some discussions regarding the success of this Chandrayaan-3 mission also. And finally they came up with the sign die. Sign die means nothing but terminating a session of Parliament, that too for indefinite period. Okay, so we are not going to know when again the session will be started. That is the meaning of this indefinite period, without naming a date for reassembly. So the power of adjournment sign die lies with presiding officer of the house. That means if it is Lok Sabha, means who is the presiding officer? Presiding officer will be speaker. So in case of upper house in Rajya Sabha, the presiding officer will be chairman. Chairman is nothing but who is our vice president. Okay, so it will be under the hands of presiding officers of house. And presiding officers, they can also call the sitting of the house before the date or time. So whenever, one more thing here you have to remember is, so whenever there is starting of the session, again we have to go for initiation of the session. So in this initiation there will be the one date will be decided, and this date will be recommended by Council of Ministers. So that is the issue which happened in Manipur. So in Manipur, because of the issues between this Meiteis and Kukis, so even the Council of Ministers headed by Chief Minister, they gave advice to governor to call for the opening of session. But what is the problem? The problem is governor, she didn't give a call. Okay. So here this Council of Ministers headed by CM will be very important for the calling of session. Okay. So this is a very important thing, and this is very important topic from this polity, and you have to know this parliamentary process, and especially you have to know how this bill has been passed. Okay, how the bill will be passed in the first house, second house, and what about this assent, and if there is any changing of federal character of our constitution, even states need to ratify that, even states need to give the permission for that. So for all these things, yes, reading of polity, Lakshmikant, is very important, and especially you need to have a good idea regarding this parliament chapter and state legislature chapter in your Lakshmikant. Is that clear? And next topic is about India G6 to attract $30 billion on entry into JPM's indices. So here you have to focus on what is this G6, that is government security. So already in our UPSC prelims, you got a question regarding this government securities. So this is very important topic, and this topic is important from your economy, which comes under GS paper 3. So now let us try to see this topic in detail. So if you see this government securities, So these government securities, they are debt instruments, and these debt instruments, they are issued by sovereign government. So whenever government want to borrow money, for example, to understand this topic in a simpler way, I will be giving you one example. For example, if I need some money, so I can borrow money from my husband. If he is not giving, sometimes he will not give, I know that. Sometimes if he is not giving means I will be borrowing money from my mother side family. So if they are also not giving means I have to keep my so and so gold that I have and I will go to bank and I will borrow money like that. So what happened? It will be increasing my debt. So finally at the end of day I have to pay if I go to bank. Right? So if I am taking or borrowing money from my husband, there is no need of paying, right? Yeah, that is another thing. So here the options which are present here is, if I want some money, so I can borrow some money. So because of this borrowing, it comes under debt. It is debt, right? So the same way government is coming up with some developmental activities. Government is coming up with some programs and policies. Yes, government need money. So government will be getting money in form of taxes. So if that money is not sufficient means it have to borrow money. So what are the options which are present with the government where it can borrow money? So what are the options which are present for the government to get money? First one is it can go to banks and from there it can borrow money, and it can go to other countries and it can borrow money, and even from states also central government can borrow money, and even government have the option to borrow money from people. So whenever government is borrowing money from people, it will be releasing G6. Government says that I will be providing you the securities, okay, so that you can give me money. So after so and so time, after maturity, I will return back your money with interest. That is the concept of this G securities. So whenever government is borrowing money from people, that is called as G-Sec. And in the same way, private people also can borrow money from people. So that private people, how they are borrowing, that will comes under bonds. And whenever government is borrowing money, that comes under this G securities. Okay, government securities. Is that clear? So now let us see this topic. So sovereign government can borrow money from people by issuing this G securities. So investors, they will buy the bonds, loans, money, and in turn they receive the fixed interest. So they will be also getting the interest here. And to get interest, so there will be certain maturity time here, and there will be fixed interest rate. And whenever government is issuing these G securities, they are very much secure. Even though the interest rate is less, which is provided by the government, but there will be a secure, or we have some security if you are buying this G6. And here there are two key categories are there under this G securities. So first one is treasury bills, second one is dated securities. So treasury bills are nothing but they are short term instruments, and they will mature within 91 days, 182 days and 364 days. That means treasury bills are less than 1 year. It is a time period for maturity. And next one here is dated securities. So they are long term instruments, and they will be taking like 5 to 40 years for maturity. Okay, so this is about these two key categories. And these G securities, they are considered as safest form of investments, because we are giving money to government, and government will be providing that money after maturity with the rate of interest which it had been said. Right, so there is a risk-free instruments, and whenever there is risk is not there means even interest rate is also low. So this is about this topic, and I want to announce this course, that is geography live classes, and even admissions are going on. So I want to say that we are going to post one video that is about our live class, not exactly live class. So actually we recorded the yesterday's class of this geography, and we are posting that yesterday's class. It might be by today evening. So watch that class, and after watching that class only you can join this geography live course, and it is very beneficial, that I am saying. Okay, because even students, they are getting their concepts very much clear. So try to join this course, and the course cost is 3000 rupees only, and you will be having daily 2 hours of classes, and there is also chance of getting this recorded classes of this geography, and the classes will be taken by me. So if you have belief in me, if you are trusting me, so you can join this course. Okay, and if you want to join this course, so you can talk to me directly, or you can text me message, or you can drop message in WhatsApp on this number 8074765513. So this course is exclusively beneficial to understand the concepts of geography, and we are dealing from basic level. Okay, so that you can easily get the concept. So try to watch the video that we are going to post by today evening, so that you will be getting clarity regarding how this class are going on. So how the practice questions are there, so how you are practicing the questions, and how the mains question is given. So from which level we are discussing those topics, that you can have some idea, right? So that you will be joining this course. So try to join this course. It is at most beneficial, and cost is just 3000 rupees, and you are going to complete your entire geography within 1 month. So now let us move on to our Hindu newspaper PDF. So I discussed this editorial section, and you can leave this ground zero, and you can move on to this news page. Here you can see this article. It is about EVMs I discussed, and I discussed about this signed die article. And there is one article here, that is PM to flag off 9 Vande Bharat routes tomorrow. So here you have to focus on this Vande Bharat. So Vande Bharat is regarding railways, upgrading our railway system. And next topic is about Quad ministers to hold talks on rules based order. Okay, so we have to see what it is going to be happen, and what are the key highlights. So once the summit or once this meet is held, we will be getting articles regarding what are highlights. There you can read this article. As of now, we have to remember which are the members of this Quad, like US, Japan, Australia and India, and even South Korea is willing to join this Quad. And if you move on, in this business page you can see an article, that is oil price a concern but no alarm yet. So there is decreased production of oil from Russia and Saudi Arabia. So from the Saudi Arabia and Russia there is a decreased output of oil. So because of that there is decreased availability of oil in the market. So because of decreased supply there is increased demand, and finally there is increased price of this crude oil international market. So whenever there is increasing of crude oil prices, automatically price of diesel and petrol will be increased. That will lead to increased of total transportation cost, and because of this increased transportation cost, what happens? That will be having impact on the overall price of goods and services in the market. That will further leads to inflation once again. And next topic is India's G securities attract $30 billion on entry into JPM's indices. So I discussed that topic. So these are some important articles that appeared in today's Hindu newspaper. So one thing I can say here is, so before leaving this class, so hit the like button and try to share this video to your friends in Telegram groups, channels, etc. And subscribe to Rathod Science Academy if you are visiting this class or this channel for the first time. Thank you so much, and we are going to meet in the next class.